Okay, here we are, the final of 5 little videos that I did for you on the model that I use. Now, when I say it's the model I use, it's the overarching model of whether someone comes to me to improve their sales or has a health condition, which I'm not a medical doctor and I kind of avoid those. But whatever it is that someone wants to manifest. And to be honest with you, I mostly work with entrepreneurs. So it's usually always about career, financial success, and things of that nature. Number five, we're going to talk about your daily decisions. Your daily decisions. We've already established that you've got to have an end result that's a grand vision, right? And we've already established how the mind works and how our daily focus and emotions puts us on a trajectory with our subconscious mind. We're either going to go towards our end result that we want to create, or we're going to spin around in a circle of circumstances with what we've already created, which is largely controlled by your unconscious thinking that just keeps popping up to protect you, popping up to protect you. It's not protecting you, it's keeping you small. And then we talked about the idea of structure, which structure you're in. If you're living in the unconscious structure, which is the box of circumstances, or are you living in the stair steps of trajectory to where you want to go? Okay. And then finally, the last video, we talked about tension, how tension is the gap between where you are and where you want to be. And if you're stuck in the structure of circumstances, then the gap, that tension is going to drive you towards behaviors that are not going to help you achieve your end result. They're going to drive you towards either harmful, like addictive, or damaging, like let's go eat ice cream instead, or avoidance. And even if they seem like they're productive, like for example, I use going to the gym. Like, oh, I can't stand this tension, so I'm going to go to the gym. That can be productive in some sense, but if you're trying to resolve your tension, and remember, all tension has to be resolved. It's just the nature of the universe, not just humanity, the universe. Nature deals with tension. I mean, we could have a whole conversation about, the Big Bang Theory, that was tension, right? Everything in nature, everything in the universe, when it has tension, tension has to be resolved. And it especially applies to human behavior. So when you have a tension that you are not responding to in a way that puts you in the box of possibilities, then that tension is going to drive you to resolve it in ways that are not productive. Okay? So if you didn't watch that video, watch that video. It's really important because the motivating tension is what just catapults you upwards. So in this last video, we're talking about daily decisions. What are daily decisions? Here's the thing that I think if not for this aspect, if people could just get it, I would not be needed. And I would be absolutely fine not being needed as a coach. I love teaching and inspiring and researching and writing and working with people, but I would be fine if someone said to me, if someone had the magic wand and said, if people get this and start practicing it and applying it, they'll never need to hire you as a coach. I would be okay with that. Why? Because I have my end results and I know what I want in my life, and that wouldn't keep me from it. Okay? So it's really important that you feel that comfortable and that confident in your own end result, right? We always find alternative ways to generate income. It's not about that. It's not dependent on your external reality. Okay, with that said, everyone can watch these videos and apply them and say, okay, I get it. But here's where the rubber meets the road. It's the daily decisions. You see, just because you understand, just because you say, I do not want to be in the box of structure, the structure of circumstances. I get it. I see how it works. Not for me. I want to go over here and be in the box of possibilities. I'm going to use every hurdle, every obstacle to catapult me upward as a to get me back on the trajectory. And that's awesome. what people don't realize is that it depends on your daily decisions. Because every day, you're going to come across external and internal conflicts and upsets that will easily propel you back into the box of circumstances. Every day. And you don't even need any outside influence. You could just stub your toe and you could be like, because listen, this is what took me the longest to learn, like literally the longest. Those unconscious beliefs that have been controlling our life, that have been directing the subconscious bus for as long as we can remember, they don't go anywhere. And you can't get rid of them. And there's no fix. And I say this being completely vulnerable as someone who's been doing hypnotherapy, who's written all these books, absolutely convinced that we could clear limiting beliefs. Now, I'm not going to lie. In my current book that I'm working on, I do have a section on how to address beliefs, but it's not in a way that clears them. It's instead in a way that helps you question them. Once we examine things in our life, we begin to understand that they're just old programs, and shining light on them helps reduce them. Not only that, but because we know through neuroscience, we can also install new preferable beliefs. But as long as we're living in that box, the structure of circumstance, and we're letting the unconscious rule our mind without examining it, this thing pops up and you're like, I'm uncomfortable. I don't want to feel like this. I'm just going to, go drink a bottle of wine. It's avoidance and possibly addiction, right? So we go do that thing. What message has your subconscious mind gotten? It's gotten the message that I'm not worth it. Life isn't fair. This always happens to me. And your subconscious mind is running the bus. It's driving the bus. Okay. So we don't want that to happen. But if you are choosing to live in the box of possibilities and an upset happens, because upsets still are going to happen, and you, instead of avoiding it or drinking it away or shopping it away or running it away, whatever, instead you stand in the fire for 5 minutes. Okay. It's a scientific fact that the hormones of stress that go through your body when you have an upset can literally last 20 to 40 seconds. That's it. It's if you hold on to them and you nurse them and you pamper them and you say, oh, stay with me. Let's join a Facebook group. Let's join a live chat so we can talk about these problems. No. If instead you stand in the fire, you feel it for a minute or two, and then you say, okay, what's my thought about this? What's my feeling about this? And I swear with practice, you'll get, in a short period of time, you'll get to the fact that you think I'm not worth it, or they're ignoring me, or nobody cares about me. And when you shine a light on that, you can realize how ridiculous it is. So all these years, all these decades, everyone's talking about changing beliefs. And the reality of it is we don't need to change beliefs. We just need to look at them and shine a light on them and realize how stupid most of them are. Okay? But it's a daily habit. And the best way I have found to deal with this is, or to address it, I shouldn't say deal with it, to address it is to make your decisions every day. And I make my decisions at night before I go to bed. Like, I'm deciding tomorrow that I'm going to put my attention on my podcast and on a new masterclass, because I know what my end result is. And I know all the things I love to do to get that end result. Research and writing books, putting ads on Facebook to attract new clients, doing lives in my Facebook groups, doing my coaching calls, doing podcasts, being guests on podcasts, planning master classes, right? These are the things that light me up. I love to do these things because I'm always, from my perspective, I'm doing the thing I love to do, right? And of course, the goal is that eventually I'll have super best-selling books, right? I'll have super super, I don't want to say high-end clients because I like who I work with now, but I'll have more comfort in knowing that I'm helping the people that I'm helping make a huge difference. I don't need to be on the stage and doing all that. That's my end result though, it's really about my books and the results my clients get. That's my end result. So something happens in the morning when I get up, I remind myself, daily decision, I'm going to do this and this. Something happens and I'm like, I ask myself, what am I making this mean about me? Let's just say my technology went bad. What thoughts am I thinking? Am I thinking, oh God, nothing ever works for me? Because if I think that and I just sit in the fire for a second and I realize that's what I was thinking, it's super easy to go, okay, really, is that true? Technology never works for you. You never do 15 Zoom calls a week. You never do this. You never do that. Of course, technology works for you. That's just a really, really foolish thing to think, right? And it goes away. In this side, and on the self-help hamster wheel, on this side of things, we're like, sorry, turning my phone off, because it clearly says spam on it. You don't want to answer it. So on this side, though, when something pops up, I'm like, oh, technology, it never works. Gosh, it never works. I'm just tired of this. I'm just not going to do it anymore. I'm done. I'll come back and deal with it tomorrow. I just can't deal with it today. And then I go eat a pint of Ben & Jerry's. Do you see the difference? That's staying stuck in circumstances. It's letting my unconscious beliefs pop up and say, yep, you're not good enough. This isn't working for you. And so we can avoid all of that. Once we understand the whole model, the whole structure, and the tension and all of that, we can decide our daily decisions. What am I going to do today? Or what am I going to do the next day? I do mine in the evening. Some people do them in the morning. But I do them in the evening when I'm relaxed and I'm clear-headed, and then I don't have to think in the morning when I wake up. I'm like, what were my decisions? And then I know. And so it's just right there. But if you are the kind of person that gets up in the morning and you want to do your decisions, then do it. Make a couple decisions. Are you going to, I would say maybe 2, 3. I wouldn't do 4 decisions, and I wouldn't just do one, because if we have a couple of different things to focus on that we feel good about, it's great. Now, let's just say, for example, your daily decision, and I'll use myself as an example, is that you have to do your taxes tomorrow. Like for me, I'm in the middle of taxes. It's February. I got to get busy. And I don't enjoy taxes. I don't like it. That's why I pay someone to do my bookkeeping. But I know I have to do my part, right? I can't just say, here, bookkeep. I have to know this and that and all these things and put it all together and give it to her. But I don't look forward to it. So my decision last night, to do my taxes today, and I'm coupling it with something I really enjoy, like doing this video. So let's just say last night, my decision was to create this video on the fifth video in this series, and to do my taxes. I'm excited about this. I love this. Taxes, meh. But you know what? I have a higher vision. I know what my end result is. And that's why it's so important that you connect your daily decisions with your end result every day. It's always a choice. And one of your fundamental, I have 2 fundamental decisions. And one is always just to take care of your health. Like, it can be exercise, it can be eating right, it can be drinking more water, but I always have a health decision that I always make every day, and a decision to keep anchored into my end result. That's like fundamental basics. I should have started with that. I should have led with that. You have to have those 2 as your fundamental basics, because if you don't have that as the basic foundation, like my end result and my health, what do you have, right? So it's super, super important that we're healthy. And I, as someone who has battled for her life on 2 occasions, like literally, that's the reason that I wrote the 2 health books that I did, because I almost died. really almost. And so there was no cure for what was wrong with me. And I kept the end result. I kept the end result of being healthy and having fun with my kids. And, and here I am, 15 years later, still hanging out there. 18 years later, I don't know. It's been a long time though. I've been healthy a long time. So anyway, hope you found that helpful. I really, really hope you found that helpful. What I was saying about daily decisions and where I come into the picture more is because it's getting from, okay, Tamara, I get your model. You put it on YouTube, you do lives on it, you do free master classes. I get your model, but I'm just struggling with it. And that's where a coach can come in. Because if you have someone you talk to, once a week, once a month, that you can say, this is what's going on, and she can help you reframe it and look at it and give you the opportunity to be honest with yourself, vulnerable with your coach, we can turn things around quickly. And then when we add to that the power of neuroscientific manifestation and quantum physics and bioresonance, I mean, my gosh, the sky is really the limit. It's really the limit. So look at the link below. Let me know if you'd like to have a time to chat before you make a session, or you can just go ahead and make a session. Okay, they're on sale for at least another month, which is half off, which is a lot. So this is not real estate related, but it can be. But it's for my single sessions, which I'm really excited because I love to talk to people every day. So let me know if you're interested, and I look forward to meeting you. Have a beautiful day.